Sleeping is a very important recovery process for the human body. But what if you just can't sleep at night? Well, you're not alone. Millions of people around the world find themselves awake late at night when they should be asleep. Welcome to Trending Ticket. And today we're going to tell you about the top 10 things that keep people awake. So make sure to stay alert for the number one on this list because it might be something that's lurking in your bedroom. Number 10, charging at night. Most people probably charge their phones while they're sleeping. That's nothing new. After a full day's use, it's normal for a phone to be drained, and what better time to charge it than while you're sleeping? Well, there's some bad news for people who have picked up this kind of habit. When the phone is charging, or actually when any electronic gadget is plugged in beside a pillow, it can actually mess with a person's sleep in a very significant way. This is because as the phone is charging, it is emitting some light and waves which can disturb someone who is sleeping or trying to sleep. In fact, some people who charge their phones while they're in bed might find that they use the phone for a longer period of time than they should. So, one good way to avoid disturbing one's circadian rhythm while sleeping is to simply charge electronics during the day. Surprising, right? But charging electronics at night is probably the one thing that everyone can relate to. Still, keep watching for number one on this list because you might have never thought of it. Number 9, reading a book. Everyone probably remembers a time in their childhood when nightly reading was a routine with their parents, and rightly so. Parents who read to their children not only increase their children's literacy, it also is a great time for them to bond with their kids. But while that had been the recommendation before, it seems that now the tables are turning, and research shows that reading before sleeping might not be as beneficial as once thought. This is especially true for adults and teenagers who love to sneak in some reading of their favorite book before they turn in for the night. When it comes to reading, what's needed here is a lot of concentration. A reader must be able to comprehend words and connect them together to understand the plot or overall idea. In other words, reading takes a lot of attention and is intellectually and emotionally draining, especially if one is reading a sad story. A book may have content that's disturbing to the reader, and this can prevent the person from falling asleep. So, if you're someone who likes to read at night, it's better to read something light, like sports or entertainment magazines, which don't require much thinking or reactions. Number 8, no routine. Some people hate having structured and rigid routine. They think that it's restrictive and doesn't leave much room for creativity. But that's actually not the case for sleep. According to studies, not having a sleeping routine can have negative health impacts, including increased risks for obesity, diabetes, anxiety, and depression. For this reason, it's important to get a good night's sleep by establishing a schedule that's consistent and realistic for every individual situation and activities. Having a routine makes a person feel refreshed and energized for the next day and also lets the body adjust to a regular pattern that allows it to recover and reset. When this happens, someone who has a sleeping pattern may find their daily physical and emotional being are largely more positive than otherwise. Number 7, falling asleep with your phone. Many people have gotten into a habit of having their phones in their hands right before they go to bed. While it may be tempting to check out social media or the latest news one last time, staring at your phone before going to sleep has negative effects on the brain. Not only does the brain get more stimulated, the blue light that electronics emit can trick the brain into thinking that it's still daytime. So instead of going into rest mode or turning off for the night, the brain does the exact opposite. That's why it's important to leave all electronics out an hour before bedtime, and dimming the lights to a reasonable level will allow the brain and body to relax. Think this is very surprising? Wait until you get to our number one pick. That one keeps a lot of people up at night. Number 6, lack of exercise. With so many things to do and so little time, some things just take the back burner for a lot of people. And most of the time, one of those things include exercise. There's no denying the benefits of exercise. Not only does it keep a person physically fit, but it also provides a boost of mental health by giving a person confidence and positive self esteem. Unfortunately, not many people can find time or sometimes the motivation to go for a run or hit the gym for a nice workout session. But it may surprise you to know that getting proper sleep doesn't always mean a heavy workout routine. Studies have confirmed that simple stretching and relaxing exercises or meditation can aid tremendously in helping people sleep. So, whatever it is that fits a person's lifestyle is good to go, as long as the time spent doing is not too close to bedtime. Number 5, dinner was too heavy or too late. Having a delicious dinner at night isn't bad, but be careful about getting second helpings. Eating 3 hours before bedtime is probably the latest that a person can eat dinner. But even then, the type of food still matters. According to studies, consuming large amount of food or even spicy food can lead negative effects to our body before bedtime. That is why people who eat a lot of sugar and carbs, like donuts or other carb heavy fare, will find themselves having a hard time getting their brains to turn off because their body is too stimulated and bloated. As such, if you're still feeling hungry before bedtime, it's better to limit yourself to a small snack like cracker with cheese or a banana with peanut butter. Number 4, stress. When you're in bed, the last thing that you want to think of is everything that went wrong that day or even a few years back. But sometimes that's exactly all that the brain can think of, and before you know it, you're thinking about work, relationships, or that time you messed up your presentation in middle school. Well, some people call it stress. Others, they say it's anxiety. But it could even be just a bad case of horrible childhood memories. But in the end, it seems that the one thing that keeps the brain awake at night is itself. So, to stop getting caught in an endless loop of depressing thoughts and unproductive worrying, which actually makes the anxiety worse, a person can do yoga, meditation, or do some light reading. Basically, anything that can take the mind off the stress and focus on winding down for the night. Number 3, the temperature in the room. Believe it or not, a hot or cold bedroom can make or break a good night's sleep. According to multiple studies, a super cold room can prevent someone from shutting off for the night, but the reverse, a super hot room, doesn't really make things better. Although some people enjoy being wrapped up in a cozy blanket, when the temperature gets too hot, it can actually wake someone up from a good night's sleep. The same is true for a really cold room. So to make things ideal, make sure that the temperature is between 55 to 74 degrees Fahrenheit. If you don't have a thermometer in your room, let your body speak for you. As long as it's neither too cold nor too hot, then a good night's sleep is just a few minutes away. Number 2, pain. People are usually put in deep sleep when going through a surgery. But what if you're lying in bed at night and suddenly you're feeling all types of pain? Well, one of the things that keep people up at night is a pounding headache or stiff back. While your instinct might be to just sleep the pain away, sometimes it gets to the point that no matter how you position your body on the bed, the pain just won't go away. And you're not alone. According to a survey, 15% of Americans say that they suffer from chronic pain, which leads to prolonged sleep problems. Some solutions that may help alleviate this dilemma is to take a warm shower before bed, sleep with a heating pad, or go to a doctor to see what's going on. Number 1, late cup of coffee. If you're a coffee lover, then here's some bad news for you. Drinking coffee is part of a daily routine for many people, and sometimes others drink coffee more than twice a day. But be careful of the caffeine. While it may not necessarily prevent you from going to sleep, the chances of coffee keeping you awake at night is still high. The caffeine in coffee blocks adenosine, which is the body's natural sleep-inducing agent. What's more is that it takes an insanely long time for caffeine to leave the human body. According to studies, it can take as long as 12 hours to pass through the system. So, think again about drinking that afternoon cup of coffee. Oh, and watch out for soda, chocolate, and some medications as well. All of these have caffeine and can keep you awake at night. Which of these things on our list keeps you awake at night? Let us know in the comments down below. And if you love this video, then go check out our other video on 10 mysterious images that cannot be explained. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and ring the bell so that you'll be notified when videos like this come out.